Good afternoon, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing all right today, as always. Hope you're all having a great weekend so far. It's the day before the game, guys, which only means one thing. It's your match preview ahead of Leeds United against Chelsea at Ellen Road tomorrow afternoon. It's on Super Sunday, and it's a kickoff time of 2 o'clock. I will be there. I'm looking really forward to it. I think it's going to be a real interesting game from a Leeds United perspective. I do think this is where we truly see what this Leeds team is about under Marsh, and tactically, mentality wise, I think it will be a huge test. However, I do think it's one that we can potentially get a result from, although I do think it will be a very tough ask against a very good Chelsea team. Obviously, Champions Europe 2 seasons ago and that. But just before we get into it, please smash that like button. Please subscribe and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Check out my articles over on Medium, as I always say. It is really something that I'm wanting to pursue and take even further. And as I said on my predicted 11 last night, hopefully, fingers crossed, over the next few days or at least week or so, we'll have a bit of an announcement on the article front. So keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. But yeah, we'll get into the preview now then, shall we? So it's Leeds against Chelsea. As I just said there briefly, I do feel this is where we see what this Leeds team is about. I think Wolves was a very good game, albeit Wolves did kind of pin us back for 15 to 20 minutes in that second half. But I feel like we soaked the pressure up quite well in that game. And obviously, subs were made at the right time, which helped us get that one over the line. Southampton last week was very a mixture of emotions after that game. I think immediately afterwards, I was thinking that was 2 points dropped. I was frustrated. I felt like we'd lost the game, in all honesty. But then half an hour into the Man United game, I felt okay. But no, like, joking aside, apart from the Man United game, obviously making me feel a bit better, when you actually sit and think about it in as an isolated result, pre-game, if you'd have said, "Would you take a point?" you'd have absolutely said yes. A point away from home in this league is so hard to come by. But the fact that we were 2-0 up, we were looking comfortable, we were passing the ball around well, the press was effective in a positive way. Thought the defence was fairly solid. Obviously, with Leeds, there's always a few shaky moments, but I did feel that we coped with Southampton quite well. I thought Southampton were very poor for the majority, but once that drinks break happened and Hassan Hutel made his changes, again, like I just said about Wolves, Marsh made subs that were effective and helped us get the result over the line. In this one, it was the subs that let us down. I don't think it was actually the players he brought on. I think the players he brought on were right. He just timed them so poorly. He brings his subs on with after Southampton have equalised. Once Southampton scored that first goal, sub should have been made then, if I'm honest. And I do feel, I know it's all right saying this in hindsight, but I do feel that if we'd have made changes at that point, I think we would have stuck it out and got that win. But obviously now it's a totally different ball game. We're coming up against some real top operators in this Chelsea team. Obviously, they have recently been taken over by Todd Bowley, who is trying to make a statement, isn't he? With the kind of Hollywood signings that he's making. Obviously, there's Koulibaly from Napoli. There's Raheem Sterling from City. Cucurella from Brighton. I think they've just signed someone from Inter Milan as well. His name escapes me. Signed that young lad from Aston Villa as well. They are making some serious moves. And I do feel like they've got a stronger squad this season. I think Tuchel, as much as I'm slowly beginning to I can't stand the man. And it isn't even after what happened against Spurs. I think him and Klopp are kind of on par with the biggest moaners in this league. But anyway, and yeah, I do think Tuchel is a good manager, and I think that he will be able to. You see, Arsenal and Spurs are looking really good at the minute as well. So it's a tough one, like as to say, who I think will finish in the top four out of those three London clubs. I think Chelsea will be right up there. I think Sterling, obviously that Premier League experience, is a Premier League champion, will obviously help that squad. Koulibaly is a really top centre half from Europe. He's played at the highest level in Italy. He's played in the Champions League and such. So yeah, and that's a good signing. Kukurea is an interesting one. I don't feel like they particularly needed him. Maybe obviously because they anticipate that Alonso is going to go to Barcelona. Obviously then they'll have Ben Chilwell and Kukurea fighting out for that left wing back position. Speaking of the wing back positions for Chelsea, obviously you're probably going to be looking at Reece James on the right wing and Kukurea on the left wing. That terrifies me, if I'm being honest. I think if there's one area of the pitch that I think Chelsea will definitely exploit us tomorrow, it's out wide. I think I've said it numerous times, but the way that we play now is so narrow and it's zonal marking. Marsh has openly said in press conferences that he only cares about the area of the pitch where they have the ball. So if they've got the ball on the right, there'll be space for Kukurea and whoever's playing out on left wing on the left, and vice versa with Reece James and maybe Mount or Sterling or someone. So we've been poor out wide against Southampton, against Wolves. Reece James is a top operator. Kukurea is a real top operator on those wings. There's the likes of Sterling, Mount, obviously Kai Havertz through the middle. Not sure if Kai Havertz is actually a number 9 or if he's trying to play a false 9 with him there. But one area of the pitch that I do feel we can compete with them is in midfield. Yes, they've got Jorginho, potentially Loftus-Cheek, Kante, Kovacic, whoever they choose to go with in that midfield. But I think our midfield looks a lot more solid now and a lot more fluid and stable. Obviously with Mark Roca, Tyler Adams, I think they kind of help complement the back four as well. I think the defences looked a lot more solid. Again, there's always shaky moments with Leeds, but I do feel like we look a lot more solid with the double pivot in front. And obviously our press as well. Chelsea do like to have a lot of time on the ball. I feel like if they can be pressed from the front, then I think we could cause them problems at the back. Obviously, their centre backs are all older. Thiago Silva's in his 30s. Koulibaly, I think, is late 20s or 30. Azpilicueta's getting on. They're more maturer players in that Chelsea team. I think if we can press them, I think we can seriously cause them issues. But as I've just said, if Chelsea are able to beat that press, which I'm presuming they will be able to do that with the calibre of player that they've got, then Leeds United need to remain focused in this game. We cannot let anything chance in this game. We need to be 100% focused. We need to be on it from the get-go because a mistake in this game could be so costly. So costly against this team. They've got some good finishes in there. Mason Mount's probably going to score because he always likes a goal against Leeds, doesn't he? But yeah, in terms of a prediction or anything like that, when I say it's hard to call, you might be looking at me thinking that's naive. Obviously, we're playing against Chelsea. And yeah, I think the general consensus is that we are going to lose this game. Which, even if we do lose this game, it's against Chelsea. They're probably going to be in the top 4. Good team. A lot of money spent. It's understandable, and that's fine. But I still feel like we can lose this game and come out of it in a positive way. I feel like if we can take this game to them, because let's be honest, that game at Ellen Road towards the end of last season where it just felt inevitable that Leeds were going down. I remember being at Ellen Road that night It was toxic. The players on the pitch did not look bothered at all. And let's be honest, we had Rafinha out there that night. We had Calvin Phillips out there that night. And it just didn't look right. Yeah, we've made a lot. Well, I say a lot. We've made about 6 or 7 signings. It is a different squad. It's a different. Well, it isn't a different way of playing. It's just I feel like it's been implemented more and it's been drilled into this squad and more now. I do feel it will be a much better performance than that game, if I'm honest. If Dan James does start, don't get a red card, mate. Learn from your mistakes. And yeah, I think Chelsea. I do think Chelsea will win the game, if I'm being honest, and that's not me being negative. I'm just being a realist. But I don't think we'll win the game. Definitely not. I think the best case scenario in this game is that we pick up a point. I think Rodrigo, he's on form. Hopefully he can continue that with another goal. Or even if it isn't a goal, I just hope he plays well and contributes well. I actually hope that he does lead our line. I want to see Sinistera more, whether it's from a starting place or off of the bench. Whatever happens, I hope he times his substitutes right in this game. I do. Oh, problem with my mic there. Yeah, I do hope that he times his substitutes well. Because, obviously, I'm not saying that I feel like Leeds will be in a 2-0 winning position against Chelsea. I think that's a lot to ask. But like I said at the top of this video, guys, I do feel like we will see what this Leeds team is all about in terms of how it's going to be this season, in terms of setup, the tactics, the mentality. If Chelsea score an early goal, our reaction to that, because I can sense an early goal for Chelsea. I don't know why. I just kind of think the longer we keep it at 0-0, I know it sounds obvious, but that benefits us massively. If we can get a point out of this game and still remain unbeaten going into Brighton, that will give this squad a huge confidence lift. However, even if we lose the game, if we can give Chelsea a good game and make them work for the win, I still think that puts us in good stead for Brighton as well. Brighton have started off well, which will be another tough test, but that's a story for another video. But as for Chelsea, yeah, I do think they'll win. And I'm gonna go with a 3-1 Chelsea win. I do think we'll score. And that's a respectable 3-1 as well. Like that's a Leeds giving it a good go, but Chelsea just having too much on the day. If we draw the game, I can see it being like 2-2, if I'm honest. But yeah, it'll either be 2-2 or a 3-1 Chelsea win. I just can't see us winning this, if I'm being totally honest with you. Hit me up in the comment section down below, guys, with how you think this game will go and your score predictions as well. Smash that like button if you've enjoyed this preview. Please subscribe if you're brand new as well. As I said last night, we're on the road to 2K. If you could help me out, that'd be amazing. I know there's a lot of you out there that watch and haven't subscribed. So what are you doing? Click that subscribe button. It really does help me out. And check out my articles over on Medium as well. And I'll see you in the review, which will be a little bit later tomorrow night. I'd say about 8 o'clock-ish. Hopefully that I'll try and get that out. So keep it locked at the Chatting League YouTube channel, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.